Let me use this opportunity also to raise an issue that the IG you have mentioned. We have also noted with deep concern a surge in criminal gangs that are mostly financed by politicians to intimidate, harass, and suppress their opponents. These gangs are armed with weapons such as crude weapons, and such gangs are now providing in quote security to leaders as they terrorize opponents in a show of might. This is beside mobilization and unleashing of what they call keyboard gangs to discredit and tarnish the image of other leaders in social media. It's worrying that instead of complementing the government in creating more jobs, opportunities, and other socio-economic empowerment initiatives for employed youth, some leaders are focused on creating mayhem through criminal gangs in pursuit for power. They are sowing seeds of discord and disharmony in total disregard of the rule of law. The country has faced persistent threats of organized criminal gangs that have sprouted across the country, specifically in urban areas or densely populated settlements, taking advantage of unemployed youth. Organized criminal gangs threaten our security and socio-economic progress by, among other ways, robbing our youth of their future by placing them on collision path with the law. These gangs are involved in murders, robbery, land grabbing, cyber crimes, illegal levies on public service transport, extortion, muggings, illegal oathing, illegal water and electricity connections. On the other hand, our cross-border gangs are a threat to our safety and security. They are undermining our socio-economic transformation initiative by engaging in transnational crimes, including human trafficking, drug trafficking, smuggling of goods, among others. Some of these gangs, we know them. We know that in Nairobi, though we have worked very hard to suppress them, we have characters like Team Kazo, Jeshi Laala, operating in areas like Kamkunji and Starehe. We have gangs like Taliban and Kibrat J10. We have in this coast area, and I thank you for the good job you are doing, dealing with what they call themselves Team Mashamba, Tianazi, Wakali Kwanza, Wajukuu Wanyanya, Panga Boys, and many others. In eastern part of the country, you have Gaza gang in areas like Matungulu and Lemi gang. In central, we have a resurgence of Mungiki. And then in some parts of the country, like Rift Valley, you have some called Koita in Uasin Gishu, Mauki, Watizedi in Nakuru, Mauki and Watizedi in Nakuru, Wafaransa in Nakuru. In Nyanza, the names become even more interesting, with names such as Mbogi, SWAT gangs. In other parts of Kisii like Sungusungu, Chingororo, Amachuma. In western part of the country, characters like Angola Msumbiji, 40 brothers in Emuhaya, Ebusakami, and Maseno areas, and Spartan and Bulunda boys in Busia. In northeastern part of the country, you have some characters called Loma Ayan, and in Trans Nzoia, you have characters like 17 brothers, Mboki Mawe, and Team Russia, among others. Now, I've done this deliberately because though these gangs have been suppressed over time, we all know what happens when we are closer to elections. And when leaders are preparing, leaders, or let me say, I was avoiding to go to what politicians, but let me say leaders. I've been one before. Allow me to demonstrate the negative impact of these organized criminal groups in the case of Mungiki and Sungusungu gangs. Mungiki, for example, we all know remains one of the dreaded homegrown gangs in Kenya, yet it started innocuously in the late 1980s as a religious movement to promote traditional values. At the height of its malignancy in the early 2000s, it levied taxes in areas like Mathare, controlled matatus in Nairobi, Nakuru, and parts of central Kenya. They charged protection fees on businesses, enforced dress code on women, carried out open mass oathing, raped women and girls, banned matatus that refused to pay them, beheaded defectors, rival gang members and those opposed to their activities, terrorizing communities, forcefully circumcised people, among other ills. Clashes with the police were rampant. Thousands of youth were members of this group in 2000 until around 2010. Individuals and communities are still scared from these criminal activities and group. Many youth wasted valuable time, leaving a legacy of unemployment, imprisonment, mental health challenges, and despondency. Sungu gang started as a community policing initiative in the early 2000s, but slowly morphed into a criminal gang. It perpetrated many human rights abuses, including assaults, public execution of crime suspects, setting alight older people they termed witches, and charging protection fees. The horrors of Mungiki and Sungu gangs must spur us to nip any criminal gang in the bud with resolve and vigor. To achieve that, we must enhance the intelligence gathering, carry out awareness campaigns against the membership to this organization, prosecute members and financiers, in addition to establishing more security presence in the affected areas.